All right, I'm now recording. So this is just whose show is this? Is this your episode or my episode?
It could be either or. Either way, I'm asking some of the questions.
We just gonna ask each other questions and catch up, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Life and Different Kicks and From My Experience podcast collab. Okay,
There we go.
2 podcasts, 1 episode, first time ever. Boom.
First time. Boom. Y'all get part 1 because I'm gonna squeeze some more out of them once I see him at homecoming.
Yeah. Shoot, we here, y'all. Just raw and uncut, man. Coach Law, how you been, man?
Man, hearing that, I almost, if I wasn't mistaken, in Houston would forget that I was a coach at some point.
What?
Just because with my photography stuff, that actually is taking a full force. Just in Houston wise, like training for in person. Yeah. So just being here, being new, it's like, dang, this how it was day one when I was in Atlanta trying to build my pipeline up for my clientele. But on the opposite side, because I know, like me being a people person when I need to be, the photography side has picked up where it was like, you sure you a trainer? I'm like, yeah, I'm a trainer. What all I do see is you just shooting.
Well, anyone out there who doesn't believe it, I can vouch. I would say you're beyond the trainer, man. You're like a life coach, and you are you're a miracle worker, man. If you have the mindset, or even close to the mindset of actually listening and paying attention, man. Like Coach, how many times you been on this podcast? This is your 3rd time, I think.
Yeah, it's three times.
Phi Nu Pi. Yeah, man. I signed up. And I went on this fitness journey, and I've curbed my diet. I've curbed some of my habits. What I realized the most important thing I learned is to keep things under control. Like, I literally have not been to the gym in probably 2 months, right? But I'm so conscious about what I eat, and I eat so differently now, and I still drink water 90% of the time that I have not ballooned up. Like in the past, I probably would have gained about 15, maybe 20 pounds by now. But I'm probably about a little over 225. But when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm probably between 220-ish is really like where I was settled at. So I really like the fact that even though when I fall off, I don't like get so out of control to where it's like, dang, like my clothes not fitting anymore. And I really attribute that to you because I've really changed my lifestyle, man. And it cracks people up. Like, when you get with family and hang out and you're like, nah, I don't want to drink, or nah, I don't want that. And they look at you like something wrong with you. Cool. I'm like, no, nothing's wrong with me.
Dang on, I can't even hear you now. Hold on 2 seconds.
Here we go. See, he having technical issues on his end while I'm giving him kudos, y'all. So this is a raw and uncut episode, but yeah, man, make sure you check out Coach Law. Let me find his Instagram real quick while he get his audio right. And how y'all doing out there, FME Podcast family? Are you doing all right? Are you feeling okay? Are you just out here living life?
We back at it. There we go.
Okay.
What happened?
Break My Fifth Law is his Instagram, so check him out. And of course, mine is FME_podcast. He having technical issues. it happens.
It ain't like the first one that we had together, people. So, hey, just appreciate the small victories out of these small mistakes.
Yes, it never ends. It never ends. I had one maybe like a month or 2 ago with my co-host, and something was going on. It was something stupid. I didn't hit a button or something. And I'm mad because I don't really touch my podcast mixer like that. I'm going to blame my nephew instead of my old age.
Nah, I get it. Shoot. Now, I got some new equipment that I'm going to get ready to set up. I broke it down because this weekend I actually got an event, and I'm going to bring everything with me to the Airbnb that we're renting out to use.
Nice.
Yeah. So, man, we catching back up. What's new on your side?
Man, I'm job hunting. I'm just looking for a job where I can make more. Now that I've fully transitioned from being a teacher. Now I've been in the corporate world for a year, and I kind of see how learning and development works on that end. Still working with Pass the Peas app. My boy Carl Van, founder of Pass the Peas app, the only recipe app where you can upload recipes and add video to each step. And we're trying to get people to preserve those family legacies. We have some really exciting things happening. I wish I could announce it, but not just yet. But we have some really exciting things happening. And if you care about your family legacy and passing down those recipes, you can download Pass the Peas app on Android and Apple. It is free. It is a free app, and it is high quality. It is not janky. I promise you.
How many recipes did you add in there? Because I saw a list of yours already, and I was like, let me see if he putting one of these meals together and remix it into like a Rob meal.
Let me see how many I got. I'm about to look now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8. The smoothies you taught me how to make are definitely on there.
I got you.
And a lot of people have been like, "Oh, I like your smoothie. I'm glad you shared that." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's my go-to because I like breakfast, but I don't like breakfast at breakfast time. I don't like eating heavy food too early in the morning. So the smoothie works perfectly."
It works easy for you. Yeah, everyone got their preference. Me personally, I love breakfast before beds, but I'm different.
I'm probably with you on that. You remember those midnight breakfasts at Claflin?
Mm-hmm. Those don't be popping more than regular breakfast.
Shoot, yeah, man. Those were the days, man. Let's take. Oh, hold on. I got one more question for you. Then let's take it back to the Claflin days, man. Not too much, but let's. Yo,
the little bit that I can remember.
You getting there too, right? Listen.
Those four. I seen a TikTok commercial where it was like the Mad Dog 2020, and I was like, man, these kids don't know what that is.
They don't know.
They don't know when you was underage and you accidentally ran into a location that would sell it to you.
Yeah.
And yeah, those were the definitely learning days.
MD 2020. And then when you were just chasing alcohol content, what? Oh my God. You would buy 211s, the beer, because it had like the highest alcohol content. Tastes like garbage. Mm-hmm. But just because you thought it would get you, quote unquote, more drunk, you would buy that one. Oh man. We did some foolish stuff.
Unfortunately, I remembered having to drink those several nights back to back. Oh, the good times.
Oh man, the great. Why would you have to do that?
I guess it was just a learning experience to see if I truly liked it or if I liked it. I guess that's what it was.
Yo, man. So I don't think you've told this story before, but how'd you end up coming to Claflin?
Man, so how that happened was I was actually going to Coastal. I was going to go to Coastal Carolina, but the only thing that was the issue is I only got a track scholarship for the second semester. They wanted me to wait the first semester. And I knew me personally. I was like, if I don't go now, I ain't going to go. Because I'm going to get me a job and and I actually had a job. They actually didn't want me to go to school. All right, I'll tell the people what the job was. But before anyone say anything, I was making over $10 in high school at this time. And this is the equivalent of $20, once we went there. But I was the birthday coordinator at Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was, man, when I tell you I was making money.
Yeah, easy money too, wasn't you?
Yeah, because the tips and all, but... Yeah, I think I was making like 14 an hour, and this is me in high school. So they was like, rich. You know what? Yeah, heck yeah. They was like, so, if you don't go to school, we'll put you into our trainers program. And once you finish the trainers program, you'll be the general manager. And it sound great. It sound nice, especially here in 2 years, I could be making 90K working at Chuck E. Cheese. It was like, you know what? That sound like a move. But I got a phone call from the coach from Claflin. He was talking to me. He said he's seen my stats and just wanted to have me sit down with him and just go over what he would do with me. Long story short, everything worked out. He had me come to freshman orientation that week. We did everything that week. Everything all in that week. Like I was like, wait, ain't there wasn't there a deadline? He was like, don't worry about it. We're gonna work through this. You know how when you first get there, you have to take those tests to see what English and math classes we're gonna have to do.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, your boy ain't had to do none of
Mm.
that.
Mm.
All I had to do is made sure I was able to repeat those stats that I did in high school there in college. And that's how I ended up going there.
The athletic advantage.
The athletic advantage, man, I tell you. Now I did have academics on there too, but
Yeah.
academics gave me a little tip of the iceberg with extra scholarships so I could, run the money up in the bookstore. But
Oh God, man, I wasted so much money. I think I still got a drawstring Timberland bag somewhere, man. That's a question. I'm gonna make that a staple now. When I start having Claflin people on here, I'm gonna start asking them how they ended up there. So I ended up there. One, I actually don't like school. Like when I finished high school, I was in Philly. I didn't want to leave. My dad graduated from Claflin, pledged at Claflin, so I'm a legacy. And I didn't even want to go. And my dad was like, he was like, so what you want to do? He was like, you can start working or you can go to college. He was like, if you decide to start working, I'll give you $5,000 and you can just go figure it out. And so then I said, well, I want to start working. He said, shut up, boy, fill out this application. So, because I didn't know what to do with no $5,000 back in no 2003. I would have burned that money so quick.
So quickly.
Yep. So, I mean, Claflin was literally the only school I applied to. Obviously, I got in. My grades were perfectly fine. I had scholarships and stuff like that. So, relocated back to South Carolina, and that's just where I went. So that was, it was pretty straightforward for me. But it was pretty dope, man. I'm glad my dad pushed me to go there because I wanted to either go to, if I was going to go to college, I wanted to stay in the Philly area. So, I wanted to go to, maybe Penn State or Temple or something like that.
I was going to say, did you look at Temple?
I wanted to, man. My dad was like, nope. He was like, you're going to Claflin.
You got to get out. You got to get out.
Yeah, and look how it turned out great, man. It turned out great for me, man, with the relationships and bonds I built, man, and the friendships. And yeah, speaking of which, man, now it's weird because, you're finally coming back to homecoming. I typically make homecoming, and I'm at the age now where I'm starting to forget stuff, man. I'll be 40 in December, and it's sad because there have been a few times people have come up to me and we've had a whole conversation. They're talking to me about stuff we did in undergrad, and I have zero recollection, bro. And I'm like, yo, I'm too young for this. I ain't on no drugs. I don't drink like that. Why don't I remember this? But, they're good memories, so I'm happy for that. But yeah, man, I'm just getting there.
I got you. So look, I don't want to get into that situation when I get back to Claflin. Someone hit me with oh, what's going on? And I'm like, oh shit.
I'll be damned.
It's gonna happen, bro.
Oh,
it's gonna happen. You look very different, but you're real hot on social media, so they'll probably recognize you. But bro, a lot of people look different, but I would say their faces are the same for the most part. Our bodies have definitely changed, but a lot of the faces you'll instantly recognize, man. But there's going to be some people that's going to catch you off guard, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Nah, it's always like that. So I got a question then because, we're both talking about school and what got us to Claflin, right? Or just going to school in general.
Mm-hmm.
How your life unfold now, right? And how today's world is. Oof. Would you recommend going to school or going to a trade?
Oof. I would say you need to play to your strengths. Going into a trade, I would say, gives you more flexibility and immediate reward for the work. Because, those trades are picking up, man. Houses are being built every day. Businesses are growing, and people need electricians and plumbers and yada, 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 and so on and so forth. Whatever your trade may be, mechanic, whatever. Those things are always needed, and those things are going up in price, which means they are getting paid. The biggest benefit to school for me one, if you want to go to if you just have interest in a specialized field, most of the time you either need a ton of experience or you need the degree. But the biggest benefit to college are the connections that you make. Like if nobody is never, if no one's ever told you this, and if you have kids, cousins, nephews, whatever going to college, tell them this. Number one, you want to have a good reputation, but number two, meet and greet and talk to as many people as possible. Get cool with them, cordial with them, say hi and bye. Everybody ain't got to come home with you for Thanksgiving, but really build those relationships, because that is what will really benefit you moving forward. And if you join the Greek organization, that just helps it even further. But I would just say really play to your strengths, because, everyone's not a good student. Like, I've had some of my kids, this is how I know I'm old. When I was about to move to Virginia, I went to this Mexican restaurant, and some of my students that I taught in 5th grade were working there, and they're like 17 and 18 and 16. And they're like, oh, we remember the speeches you gave us in class. And like a few of them were going to the military. One of them was going to trade school. And he was like, I'm so glad you talked to us about that, because everyone makes you feel like you need to go to college. But, I'm not a good student. I don't like school, but this is working for me and I'm able to support my family. So that's pretty dope, man. And also, if you're going to go to college, bust your ass in high school to get scholarships. Please. You can go. There's an opportunity for you to go for free, okay? Or for next to nothing. So please do that, because student loan debt is serious and them payments are high. Very high. Thank you, Joe Biden, for eliminating my student loan debt.
Appreciate it. Shout out.
What about you? Same question.
So with me, it's toward the end of how you answered that. Me personally, if I have a child and we're having that conversation, I will promote the college as much as possible if your ass is getting a full ride to go.
Absolutely.
Because the number one thing going to college is what you said, is the networking. That is the key thing. That right there, when you're in college, I don't think majority of us really understand that is how you are going to grow in life once you get out of college.
Yep.
Like me being an entrepreneur, me knowing like if I do not communicate to someone else, I will not be able to get more business. But if I haven't practiced this over time in learning from different groups, I'm not going to be able to master or maximize on my opportunities. One of the great things you said, we both in a fraternity, and being in that fraternity, I was also a part of the social event coordinating. So what that did for me is learned how to fill out emails the correct way, knowing how to talk to the person that I need to, understanding that if you do get a no, how to come back on that situation and get that approved, and then knowing how to plant seeds. So it was like, shoot, oh yeah, we need to host this Capel party. We did something on campus that messed us up. All right, y'all don't go talk to him. Let me go talk to him. We got this relationship. If you go to it, you are gonna mess it up. That's how life is.
Yep.
I may have the resume for the job, but if this person has the resume and the relationship, they taking a relationship every time.
I know
I am. So the number one thing that I always say is learn how to build those relationships, because at the end of the day, majority of the people that go to school, you normally do not finish out your life doing what you started at school. But the thing that you build from it, you'll always use. You'll always be able to use that.
Yeah, and it helps you move around easier. Like I can't really think of a part of the country that if I wanted to move to, I don't know at least a few people that live there that could give me the down low, or if I could go visit and they say, hey, hang out with me, I'll show you around. That helps a hell of a lot, man. These states are big, these cities are big, and you really need to know. Like, I'm still looking to relocate to the Atlanta area, and I've talked to frat brothers, I've talked to homegirls, I've talked to homeboys, I've talked to at least 6 or 7 people who have given me a lot of great information to help me determine where I actually want to stay. And again, it goes back to those relationships I built. And, like I said before, you want to have, this is important, especially if you go to a HBCU. We different, right? You want to have a good reputation because people are gonna, until you build the adult relationship with people, they're gonna remember you from undergrad. Whatever your
they ain't gonna remember shit that you did right now. I don't know who you like. Hey, that's the number one thing when hey, yo, Skip, I want to hold up, my guy. This is not Skip. No. Flag on the play. You are not talking to Coach Skip. This is Law.
Yeah. Nickname out of here. Yeah.
Get that, because that nickname over there got some track record. All right. And that track record was college. That was college me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I still be wanting to call you that sometimes, but I'm used to Coach Law now. I make a conscious effort to call you Coach Law, and it's a beautiful thing, man. The transformation, because we do grow and we do change, man. But people will remember you for what you did and who you were in undergrad. Yeah. So I was very mindful of how I treated people, how I spoke to people. I wasn't perfect. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really have anyone that hates my guts either. Like, I can go up to anybody's tent at homecoming and get love, just because I was just well-rounded like that. I was the same way in high school. But, yeah, man, that's another thing that really just helps you, man, just that good reputation. And also, when you start looking for jobs, man, like I'm on LinkedIn. Hey, what you know about this? Oh, my connection works here. Let me reach out. Hey, we both went to Claflin. Or, hey, we're both Divine Nine. Like, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Hey, plus the road trips, people. If you in school, road trip.
Yes.
When you're an undergrad, you are road tripping for another reason. But if you are listening to this or you are watching, road trip because that builds on your connections and resources.
Yep.
That's something where it's just like, I sit back and think like, dang, I remember we always used to road trip. Well, I did. I always used to road trip to Columbia. And I always used to connect with the Benedict bros and the USC bros. And one year I needed to stay there to go to school. Oh, bro, we got a whole apartment. We got an extra room. The person that was using it, we ain't got it. Boom. You can hold on to it. Since you working, man, they was in their 30s. They was like, you a college student, so don't worry about no rent or nothing. Stack up what you need to and just make sure you don't mess up the house.
Boom.
And those were things where it was like, hey, I used to go there to Columbia to have fun, of course.
Yeah.
But then I also made sure before I had my fun, let me go up and give my respect to these people, because I don't know what I'll need from them down the line. And I never want to be that person where it's like, oh, I know why he calling. He's in need or he wants something.
Yeah.
Either way, I ain't picking it up.
Yeah. You don't want to be that person. And, it's funny, man, how times have really shifted. And what you just said is 10 times more important. Shit is so expensive now, man. It is so expensive. So just imagine somebody saying, yo, you can stay here or you can get this extra room, man. I mean, back then, I'm sure the cost was probably a third or maybe half of what it is now. Like back when we was growing up, man, you could get an apartment for $600, $700, $800, no problem. Man. 2-bedroom, not a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom. I
was about to say, man, back then you was like, man, they want me to pay $450 for this spot. Now I'd be like, $450. What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
But then, oh man, I miss out on those bad boys. I miss out on those. I was looking because I was gonna ask you. Okay, so you're going to homecoming. I'm going to homecoming. What is on your to-do list to visit and partake in?
Well, it's the 75th year of the Gamma Nu chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I'm on a couple of committees, bro, so I will be at the Yard Fest on Friday, hanging out with Bird and the undergrads. I think we're supposed to be cooking out or whatnot. I'm doing that. Definitely tailgating. But one of the things
hold on before you go on. I am the photographer for the tailgate, so y'all will be seeing me with the lens, catching all the capturing moments.
Do not wear good shoes.
Yeah, don't do that.
Do not wear good shoes to homecoming. Unfortunately, our tailgating area is like a dusty gravel parking lot. So yeah. But I definitely want to take a full stroll through campus. I know it's grown and it's different. Probably not. I don't think they've added anything new. Oh no, the movie theater or student center or whatever it's called. That's done. Haven't been to that yet. It was in
Look, I ain't
progress.
had that. I ain't had that. I ain't had the co-ed dorm. I ain't have the indoor
When,
track.
hold on.
I'm
When the last time you been back?
too long. Too.
Over 10
The
years?
last Nah, I went with Dukes one year to help with the because he was one of the promoters for it. Oh man, this is when it's been a couple years. This is when Eric didn't know he was about to be a father. That was the last time we went.
Yeah, it's gonna blow your mind. Then yeah, high rise is a girls' dorm now. Um,
Oh, oh.
because the
No, I'm just laughing. Like I remember getting in trouble for having someone in high rise because at the time you couldn't have them in
yeah,
high rise,
and
and
now they got co-ed dorms. What do you know?
they got co-ed dorms, and now it's a female dorm. That is crazy.
Yeah,
Woo.
it's the male population is low. Brothers, we not going to school, man. So I mean, and that's another benefit. If you like women, okay.
This sound
If you
like a
like
whammy.
women, hey, I listen. And whether you're a woman who likes women, a trans who likes women, if you like women, a college campus is where they are, and you at least at a minimum know they got some kind of wits about them because they there for something positive. They trying to do something with their life. But it's the overwhelming majority of women on campus is
It's
yeah,
lovely.
it
It's
is lovely.
back in the day. That was so
Let me
lovely.
get back on track. So, but yeah, I do want to stroll campus, take some pictures of campus. And I went last year, but I was just kind of like, I don't know, I was still kind of shell shocked just with life. A
I know
lot
the
had
change.
happened in my life, and I was just glad to be in my comfort zone because I don't socialize a lot. But I definitely want to see a lot more people. Like a lot of people that I really love and care about were there. But I was just really with the noobs, man. I was just hanging with us, and really didn't see nobody. So this year, I definitely want to make sure. Like I've been texting people, like, "Yo, you gonna be there? Yo, you gonna be there?" Because I want to catch
Right.
some people and just see them and give them a hug and just see how they doing and see what's up with them, man. But
You're in
just
Columbia,
Spartanburg.
Spartanburg. Okay. And you're heading down on Friday.
Probably third. I'm trying to do Thursday, man. I gotta see what my job is looking like. Well, I'm trying to go probably Thursday evening because I'm staying at
Thursday
Bird's
evening.
house. So
Okay. Okay.
because I was gonna get
Okay.
a hotel, but I started looking at the prices even early. I was like, y'all ridiculous. This ain't Miami.
I mean, if your job lets you off on Thursday, Spartanburg goes through Charlotte, it goes through Columbia. I accidentally will be at Columbia's airport. You need a passenger rider with you. So, we can make this a great trip all the way there. I'm just throwing that out there, whatever way you want to take that. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I will keep you posted on that for sure. That's not a problem at all.
I got you. So, me, right? I'll answer a question before I
Yes, your
answer it
agenda.
for you. Me going there. Oh, yeah, let me answer that. My number one thing, I need to see this new campus. That's the number one thing. And then I actually want to go and see like the professors that may still be there that was teaching me as a student. The last time I went, it was different because I was older and I got to see my public speaking teacher and we got to shoot the shits together and it was like, dang, bro, like I'm the age that you was teaching me and now I see how were you so serious about your job, even though like technically like where we at right now, we're like, damn, we old. But if you talk to someone like in their 20s,
Yeah.
nah, we ancient. Cause I had a photo shoot with someone and they was like, they were going back and forth and they thought I was their age. And I was like, oh nah, I don't deal with that type of crowd. And she was like, well, how old are you? I was like, I'm 30, blah, blah, blah. And she hit me with the damn. And I looked, I said, girl, you 25 with 3 kids. Let's chill out. Technically, we in the same age bracket right
I'll
now.
be damned. I'll be damned.
You ain't right. You ain't right.
Nah, man. Hey, that damn hit me. I felt like how Kevin Hart did, oh boy. Like, dang, really? Like,
We
that's
hit
how we
Don Cheadle
feel?
with that.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But like when I went to homecoming and we was chatting, it was just like, dang, all right, man. Like, this is what you had to deal with when you were this age. It's like you had to take a lot of responsibility. Like, how was that turning off, your college days? Because he was a part of a frat
Mm-hmm.
and becoming that professional teacher, knowing that you was us not too long ago. And
Bruh.
just hearing like the mindset and how to adjust that and making sure he distanced himself from any type of distractions, it made sense where it was just like, dang, this is you don't think about this in college. You look at your professor and you got to remember, like, man, that's you in the next 5 years. Like, did you know
Yeah,
that?
that's you. That's why every time I see Rouse, I'm like, man, I don't know how you dealt with us.
Bruh.
I'd have been fine because I realized that I was talking with Russ, man. He was like, yo, you realize Rouse is like, he was the age we are now. We're in our mid to early 30s. He was like, how the hell? He was like, you think you could have been advised? I was like, hell no, I was be ready to
No.
fight. Like,
Oh, that's so I was talking to someone that just became the vice president and they were their ADP.
mhm.
And we was talking and they was like, I can't believe, XYZ is going on. These young kids don't even understand. I'm trying to save them. And I was like, hold up, hold up. You remember when they was trying to save you and you was like, man, what the fuck you know about this? Like, we about to go party tonight.
Yep.
Like, we'll be there for the meeting. Even though we didn't understand, they were us. They were teaching us from their mistakes.
Yes.
So we didn't take advantage of it. Now, like this, like the law, the me is like, oh yeah, we got some potentials that want to be, keep them. I'll talk to them when they done. I'll talk
Yeah.
to them when they done. I
Yeah.
don't need to talk to them beforehand. I know the process. I remember who I was in college. And I knew someone wanted to be a part of our organization. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be around that. I can't do that. But knowing what Brother Rouse did and dealt with, like
Bruh.
the stress, oh, I would have been bald day one. I
We
would have been bald
He's
day
stupid.
one.
And we was ignorant, bruh. You name it, we probably did it, bruh. I'm telling you. I remember one time, I don't think you met Trey, one of my pro fights. Boy, we went to Province or something, and he didn't ask Rouse and took Rouse's car, and we came outside, and his car wasn't there. He was
Oh,
so mad, yo. I think he went to go get food or something, or he went to like one of the meetings. And I think he told him not to take his car. I'm like,
yeah.
yo, somebody take my car now. I'm gonna be mad. Yo, one of my undergrads, like, yo, how you just gonna take somebody's car? Like, and I'm like, yo, we was only 20, 19, doing this stupid stuff, man. But I don't
Not
know.
knowing what, like, just think about, all right, think about when we was in undergrad. My parents, hey, I'm here today, so you can't be mad. But remember those days where it was like, all right, let's drink this Four Loco and let's go to the castle. Bruh,
Yeah.
now the me, oh, that's a DUI. That's
Yes.
$5,000. That's community
Yes.
service. And let me get an Uber real quick. But back then, it was risk it all.
Yeah, bruh, risk it all is an understatement. I mean, I ain't gonna say no. I ain't even gonna say no names. This is shameful. We were young, man. I forgot who. Well, I know who I was talking to, but I was having a conversation with somebody, and they said, "You ain't never drink during the day and like go to classes? That's balling. You need to try that." Why my dumb ass try it? Now I wasn't drunk, but at maybe like right after lunch I had like a beer or something. I was like, oh, this daytime buzz is nice, you know? I didn't make it a habit, but I still did it. And I was like, man, let me chill out, yo.
Let me get at nah, that was we had that experience. But we had a good excuse. That was the day of the probate. And we weren't even going to be on campus the day after because we had to go to Greenville for a meeting, which led us all the way to our celebrating. So somebody influenced us. I would never throw anybody under the bus with any names, but they influenced us and said, hey, this is y'all day. I'm going to make sure that y'all don't forget what y'all need to talk about. So make sure you pass the cup throughout the day. And one of my lovely LBs was like, man, y'all just getting on this? Why are you doing this? Man, by the probate time, when Brother Rouse told me, You better not say that. I'm too drunk to remember not to say something that stuck right here at the top of my temple. But good luck. Thank you for telling me. That was, I will say, that was one of the fun days where it was like we had our little water jug and I was on the track team. So you didn't know what I was drinking. It was just
I'll be
sipping
damned.
throughout the whole day. Just, you good? Oh, we great over here. And it wasn't Texas heat. So, you at this time,
Yeah.
you can drink and don't got to worry about, dying from a heat stroke from out there.
Yeah, you didn't. It was nice, man. Wow.
Nah.
I think that's like undergrad was like the heaviest I probably drank, and then it's funny enough, I'm kind of glad I did that because now that I'm older, I really don't even care for it. Like if I go out and hang out with friends, I might have 2 drinks at most, but I don't really hit it like that. And there's some people who got to buy like a bottle every week, man. So I'm glad it had the opposite effect on me.
Well, look, shout out to the ones that we're going to be like, you still the same in college in a couple of weeks. Because there's always going to be that one person at homecoming that still don't know how to hold their liquor.
Yes.
It ain't going to be
Yes.
me. I learned too much in undergrad. I
Yeah.
don't even drink Four Locos and Diesel anymore. So,
Ooh, Four Locos. I had a Four Loco twice. It tore my stomach up both times. This is before all the health stuff came out. Never did it
Yeah.
again.
nah, Four Loco was my best friend. You mix it with some Gatorade, add a shot into it, and
Wow.
you was
and a
great. Yeah,
Man.
track team, we got lit.
Y'all
Before the
did,
word
man.
lit, we then when we got the move to Millwood,
We have that in common, man. I used to live in
look,
Millwood.
look, Millwood was your co-ed dorm. And you
Yes.
ain't had nothing to worry about. That was before they actually had co-ed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Millwood got some people. No, all right. I think you was out of school at this time. But the best time that I can say, hands down at Claflin, hands down, outside of us knowing Obama won, was when we had that water balloon fight during that homecoming weekend.
No, I wasn't there for that, I don't think.
Oh, you missed. Dang, I really wish you could have
What year
chimed
was
in.
that?
This had to be, it wasn't my last year. This was the year before graduating. But dang,
I don't think I was there.
it was so big. They already knew the next day, part of homecoming, they was like, if we see anything going on, we're shutting down homecoming and you getting suspended. Like, it was that deep. It started from dorm. It started out as actually an event.
Mm-hmm.
And then each team clicked up, then each organization clicked up, and people was creative. No one got like into no fights or violence or anything.
Yeah.
It was just hella water balloons everywhere to pick up. Every fucking where to pick up. And it went on all night. But hands down, one of the best experience on campus. That was something where it was like unity, fun, and it was literally nothing to worry about afterwards. Everyone always has a good time, and it's like, dang, why y'all had to ruin the moment? That no.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
That's one thing. I will say that's one thing I really loved about my undergrad experience was for the most part, there was a lot of unity across Greek organizations. Like I'm cool with people in every organization. I cannot stand with D9 organizations like beef and talk trash. Like that happened in another campus. I ain't gonna mention it. And I really couldn't stand it, man, because it's like, bro, yes, we're different, but we all about community service, and we all were founded because of what our founders were going through, and they needed those connections to stay strong and make it through because they were going through some different type of struggles back then. Right. But also, like, we set the standard on these campuses, and we are not gangs. You know what I'm saying? And I really didn't understand when I would see other situations where the hate would come from. But that's one thing I really loved about Claflin. Like, I love being able to go to homecoming. I can go to any organization's tent and get mad love, no dirty looks, no old beef. And I'm just like, that was like one of my favorite things, man. I used to love just hanging out with everyone that was D9 and just laughing and joking and just enjoying that Greek unity. And again, that's something that pays off in the future. Like I've had a lot of people on this podcast and just conversations with them to help me out with different stuff across organizations, man. It just widens the net of that network.
Yeah, no, that's serious. Now, were you the same way that way before becoming part of the D9?
Yeah, man. I was cool with a lot of people, man. I was cool with everyone on campus. I still have a lot of people, even after I pledged, because people like, oh, once you pledge, you don't hang out with us. Man, I was in high rise, still playing PS2 in my homeboy's room and stuff like that. Man, still hanging out with the same people. Granted, not as much, and not because I didn't want to, but people don't realize this, and it doesn't get talked about enough. When you become Greek, it's a job. Like you got meetings. You got to.
That's the part people don't look. As
Yeah.
an adult now, bro, that was teaching you corporate. That was
Yes.
the board. Hey, this is what we delegating. This is what we
Yep.
do. We got the punch in, punch out people over here that don't do shit, and then we got everyone else that's running the machine over
Yeah,
here,
which is
doing
about
this,
half or less, unfortunately.
paying your dues, like learning how to pay
Oof.
bills. All of
Yes.
those things played a part. Played a part.
Marketing and promotion, bro.
It did.
Dude, we
It,
was
it
the shuttle.
definitely did.
We used to be the
But I
shuttle.
but I appreciate how it was with us. Brother Rouse put some different guidelines with us. And I know that happened before, but like having certain days we did certain
Yep.
things was really important. And then the other thing that I like and I noticed like other chapters didn't do is we paid for that extra year.
Yep.
Other chapters, it was like, dang, what you mean you inactive? Like you just joined. Oh man, we ain't pay our dues yet.
Yep.
I go there like, oh, so y'all don't got 4 years? Like,
Yeah.
what's that? Like, oh, we
Yeah.
paid for 4 years just in case we got an extra a extra time here
Yeah.
at Claflin. Like, we still good.
Yep.
So I did like how that stuff was set up. Now, before even coming Greek, I don't know. Yeah, I think we talked about it on one of your episodes. If no one listened to it, I did not know nothing about D9. I went to a lovely preppy white school in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely prep. So the only type of organization I knew about was the people in blue boots. And the first thing y'all gonna say is Sigma. No, I was talking about KK Psi because I was in the band and I was watching Drumline. I was like, that's the only shit I want to do when I get to school.
Oh my
Come to
God.
find out, Claflin ain't got no damn. They ain't have that there at Claflin. So once I realized, hey, they didn't have a football team, and then I actually knew what KK Psi was, and I knew like, oh, they don't have that here. Greek's organization did not ring a bell with me, even during freshman week, orientation week. I think what made me not know about them as much is because I did play a sport.
Mm-hmm.
So the track team helped me with move-in day. So I didn't have to worry about, how we got the freshman move-in day
Yeah.
and, we helped. Yeah. That was one part of it. And then what happened? I think how I actually started to find out about Greeks, it was two things that happened. One, it was an Omega that was the assistant coach for the track team, and then someone was Greek that was on the team. They really didn't promote it because they didn't want to like persuade anyone their way.
Mm-hmm.
But the assistant track coach, he seen my pants and it had like a horseshoe on it.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I ain't know what it meant. And at that time, it was like, bro, like I'm clueless. So he looks at my pants and it was it was one of his bros out there. And he was like, man, look at his pants. You see what he's doing? And the good thing to do, he wasn't on shit. He was like, that horseshoe, those cowboy pants. Like, we know what you're trying to say, but he good. Ain't nothing wrong. And I'm looking, I was like, what you trying to do? He was like, man, these kids is soft. I would have yanked those pants off of you. I said, we would have been tussling right here too then. Like, I understand disrespect, but nigga, I'm a man right now. So don't disrespect me. And from then I learned a little bit, did my research, and unfortunately, a lovely member of our organization had some fun with someone that I was dating at that time.
Oh, but shoot.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, so
Oh.
this part we may have to edit.
Okay, let
Yeah,
no, I don't want to edit. Let just skip it. Skip that part. Skip that part. We can talk off mic. Well, it wasn't me, but we can talk off
No,
mic.
no, no, no.
I know it wasn't me.
No,
That now
no, it
that
wasn't. Look, the cool thing about it is Brother Rouse is cool because Brother Rouse is an overseer about everything.
yeah,
So fast forward, long story short, someone, uh, the Newts being a Newt,
yeah,
they might not have knew what was
yeah,
going on.
yeah,
They,
yeah,
we shared the same girl.
yeah.
Fast forward it in the future. I got online, and before getting online, this was the
You
funny
became
part.
more acquainted with the organization. I don't know what this online thing. That's the internet, right? When you get connect online.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. When you collect online, you know how that go.
Yeah.
Cause that's how I had to pass my, paperwork. I had to do it
Yeah.
through the email, so all was
Yes.
online.
The paper is important.
Yeah. So the crazy thing about this, I reached out to Bird. I remember this, right? And I was like, man. And this was when the Alphas did it on the same day as the Kappas at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So they had their interest meeting the same exact time. So two people on the track team plus the vice president at this time, no, the president, SGA president at this time for Claflin gave me a personal pass to be able to fill out their paperwork and don't have to worry. So I made them one excuse, and I was like, "Man, I ain't got the funds to do no organization." They was like, "We didn't tell you to do that. We told you to fill out the application." So that part got situated. That actually, if I wanted to do that, it bought me like 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I reached out to Bird, and I was like, "Hey, Bird, unfortunately, I got a track meet when it's an interest meeting."
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how this goes, but am I able to get information, come in sooner? And that man hit me with, sounds like you got to make a decision.
I love Bird. Raised him right. Raised my boy right.
I said, in my head, I said, I know this fool ain't say this. And I got other organizations wanting to pay for me to join theirs.
Yeah.
I said, oh, okay. So I hit him with a nice small jab. Make a decision on academics, scholarship, and beliefs off of short term success from what I know. Noted.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And I went to Brother Rouse at
Mm.
this time. Meanwhile, it wasn't like disrespect him. I personally didn't know like the process
Yeah.
and like how people really took to heart
Yeah.
at that phase. So I went to Brother Rouse and I was like, "Hey, Brother Rouse, um, I reached out to one of the members. I informed that I was interested in going to the interest meeting, but he told me that that wouldn't align with what I got going on. And I just want to leave you with this. I am here on a track scholarship and academic scholarship. I'm not an expert on your history, but I definitely think I did some research and saw both of those two values being important. And I was just a little confused on how I have to choose on what decision to make if it was a part. And next thing you know, he was like, just send me your stuff when you're done with it. So I go on and I get back from the track meet. So no one knows like I was interested in either of them because I was gone. So that
Perfect.
saved me. Next thing you know, I go to Brother Rouse's office. He was on State's campus. So I had to go to State.
Yep.
And who did I run into?
Bird.
A lot
No.
of great members of Gamma Nu. Russ, Norman, Stacy, Bird.
My guys.
All four are sitting there. And what do? Here you go, Brother Rouse. Here's my application. And this is back in the day. And here's my money order for it. I saw the price. When you saw the look from those four, they looked at me like, this cocky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Me, I didn't go to the interest meeting.
Yeah.
Only thing I saw was the price. I literally worked that whole Christmas break
Yeah.
to make the amount of money. So I was like, oh, all right. Brother Rouse hit me with, you have to get in first.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, do you want to just hold it? And if I don't get in, you just give it back because I know I'm good. And me not knowing the process, it was like, just hold it right now, Mr. Inman. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And I
Man.
walked between them and they just look and speeding this up because I don't know. I don't think you was at my when I talked to everyone and there was a question that was asked. And before answering this question, I don't know
I
why
don't
I
think I
said,
was there.
"Nah, you wasn't. Trust me. You would definitely remember this." My answer was, "That's a hard one." And I said that shit out loud. Me in my head was thinking because it was off the wall. It wasn't a hard question. It was just this motherfucker hit me with, bro, this wasn't an interview question you prepare for. And when I tell you, I was reminded about me saying, this was a hard one.
Oh,
I
that's where that came from. I never knew where that came from.
It came from my interview. I
Oh
went and was
God.
just like, man. Now I answered it good afterwards, but yeah, this was a hard one. That throughout my
Oh my
time, yeah,
God.
yeah, that was a priceless
I,
moment. Price, priceless moment because I got reminded several times.
man, I'm glad you shared that, man. My experience was I only had. It's funny. I think this is gonna be a little controversial. I think as a whole, D9 needs to evolve a little bit when it comes to that. There's just I think sometimes we forget how popular we are amongst each other, but not to the outsiders. Like
Right,
we're involved in Greek life daily. We're in Facebook groups, we're in Instagram groups. We talk to each
right,
other. We got inside jokes. We know this. If you're not in the organizations, you don't know. If you're not heavily interested, you don't know. And like these kids are coming from, you don't know what walk of life they're coming from.
right.
And I'll say this, and I'll be 1000% honest with y'all. Yes, my dad was a new. My dad did not talk to me about Kappa at all. There was one time, like I think my junior or senior year in college, he asked me to get something out the top of his closet, and he had a box of like pens and stuff, and he had one from the Million Man March, and he had a Kappa pen that said K A Psi, and I said, "Dad, what is K?" And he said, "Boy, that's K A Psi." I was like, "What is that?" He was like, "That's a Greek organization." He said, "You'll find out when you go to college." That was the Kappa
That
conversation
was
we
it.
had. He didn't wear Nelia. He wasn't active like that. You know what I'm saying? But I just knew he would talk about his frat brother every now and again. But I wasn't as informed. I wish he would have, but he just wasn't, whatever. So,
Yeah,
I think it's important to really inform people like, hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. Here are some do's and don'ts because common sense
right,
is not common. So it's like
right.
here's some do's and don'ts. Like if you hear us doing a chant, that's not for y'all to do. If you see us doing shimmies or a party walk, don't break the line or don't imitate us. Like that is for
Yeah,
members only, and this scene is very rude and disrespectful. Some people know that, some people do not. And it's just like
right.
at least if you give that basic set of rules or basically overall parameters of Greek organizations, then people can make more informed decisions. I think at a minimum, that's what we should do instead of just expecting, oh, you better know about us. Man, this mother might have just been
Right.
the first person in his family to go to college from Podunk, South Carolina. He ain't think about no
Mhm.
D9. He like, how the hell am I
Right.
graduate? Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. That was me. Look, I was an analytics person. I was like, man, the analytics saying a college freshman dropping out is at this rate.
Yeah.
And I'm already a minority. Like, I was so focused on that part.
Yeah.
Like, just knowing, like, all right, I'm the first, like what you said, I'm the first out of my family to go to college. So it's a learning experience all together as a whole. Like,
Yeah.
I can't go back home and say, Mom, Dad, this is what happened. Like, how did you overcome it? We didn't. We don't know what you're walking through. Like, you're going to be able to teach the next
Yep.
because you did something. So, absolutely, that was a couple. But I will say, I did have my freshman orient. Oh, dang, why can't I talk? Freshman orientation teacher.
Mm-hmm.
He was the head basketball coach. He was Omega,
Okay.
and he also provided us nice tools and resources because he knew, hey, we're freshmen. He was like, hey, as you grow in here and as you get to a certain level, you may cross paths where you're wanting to be a part of a D9 or any type of group. This is a couple of things that you need to prepare yourself for. And he let us know from the jump. He's like, hey, you're not bigger than the group. You can learn the hard way. You're going to learn that there's going to be workers, and you're going to learn that there's going to be partiers. You figure out which person you are, because the same way you see this in college, you're going to see this in the workforce.
Yep.
So be mentally prepared for it. The other thing is, he explained, like, all right, this right here is fun now, but this is really important for you to understand. You can benefit from this 10, 15 years from now, because, hey, me seeing your resume and seeing you're a part of an organization shows me you're dedicated, you're committed, you're XYZ. So that's going to give you a tip of the iceberg, knowing these things. Now, all the fun games while y'all freshmen, it's cool, because I'm pretty sure you done this when you got to college. You may not say it now, but all of us didn't disrespect. I know I ain't never like disrespect at a party or anything, like shimmy in or break line. But if I was in my room,
Oh,
yeah, I was practicing my probate already before I
bro.
was even Greek invited or
We
anything.
was doing
But
all of them in the
outside,
room. All of them. All of them. What
every
you want to do? What you want to do? Because I was roommates with my boy Brandon. Shout out to my LB. We ended up being LBs, obviously. But yeah, we used to imitate all them in the room because we knew better.
right in the room. So, all right, I'm gonna ask you this: which one before? I can even ask you now. Which one did you like mocking the most before you became Greek?
No, Omega was hilarious. It was, it was hilarious. Like, why are y'all jumping like this? And why are you? I don't understand the correlation between jumping and barking and throwing up hooks. I didn't get it. But also I was cool, and that's the other thing too. Like, because I was call me Mister, which is education majors. So my RA Farah, he was a noob. Then I had CJ, he was a Q. He was in Call Me Mister together. Then Ryan, he was an Alpha. Like, I was like, there was somebody in every organization that I was cool with, or something, or I experienced something with them academically. Even the
Right.
sororities and stuff like that. And then both my parents being Greek, so I had a, like, slight. My mom talking to me about Delta, but I'm like, what is that? Don't do nothing for me. So it was just funny. And then you go by what you see on campus, and that's why your presence on the yard is important. Like, we were taught that online.
Hmm.
They're like, yo, when y'all cross, go outside. Like, when there's a campus event, go. They're like,
Yes,
you're promoting the organization. Be social. That's the other thing too, man.
that
Like,
is the
oh,
that's the thing I don't think people really take advantage of now.
bruh, dog. We used to make stupid money at our parties because we did, like, whatever your preference is, we didn't care. Big, small, short, tall, fine, ugly. We gave flyers to everybody.
Every
We didn't
last
even go on
person.
our parties. We would carpool. We would drive on State's campus and Claflin's campus. Like, yo, who need a ride? Who need a ride to the castle? Who need
Take
carloads, bruh.
we taking people to our party, and then looking going. Me, I would be thinking like, dang, like, so y'all not gonna go in your own party? We working right now. We need
Thank
the
you.
money.
We working. We
We
working.
working. We need the money.
We need the
Man, I
money.
remember. I remember those days. I remember, but those things definitely. I promise you, it didn't stick out to me then. It was just more of a task that I
Yeah.
was just following because I was told to do it.
Yeah.
But now, when you look at it, it's like, dang, they were showing you how business works. Like,
Yeah.
you may have a great project in front of you, but without people knowing about it or knowing the people behind it, it's only a vision. Because I was talking to Dukes this week, because he's hosting one of the alumni parties
Yep.
as well. And I was texting, I think I text Rashad, and I was like, dang, this flyer make it look like it's not even in Orangeburg. And if you're not from Orangeburg, I mean, if you're from Orangeburg, you get what I'm saying.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
It was like,
It do.
what?
Yeah.
This flyer look like we in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Then you get to Orangeburg, you like, oh. But it has grown so much. I just remember the last time I went to homecoming, they was like, oh yeah, we gonna have hookah in the sections.
Yeah.
I went and said, when Orangeburg knew about sections in hookah. And I'm just acting like it's medieval time back there. But it's just funny just seeing like the progress and the process and the elevation of it.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, Orangeburg has changed. I like where the party's going to be at too. It's a big venue. The undergrads had a party there last year. That's one of my traditions that night. The undergrads typically have, I need to check with Bird. They typically have a party Friday night, and
Yeah.
I go with Bird and just collect money at the door and look at them fine young things walking through that I would never talk to because they're too young. Well, the eye candy is there though. Look, I be looking, but I look but don't touch. I don't even flirt, none of that. It's an experience. And times have changed. Times have changed. Looking at, you reflect on what you used to wear and how the women used to come. I'm like, yo, is this a lingerie party, y'all? No, this is a regular party? Oh, okay. Like, because some of them things, I'm like, you just coming naked. You might as well take that off. Like, this is crazy.
This might as well be a PJ party. Like, I remember those.
Oh,
man,
yo, them lingerie parties. Oof.
Eclipse. Those eclipse
Wow.
parties.
Those eclipse parties, man.
The throwback days.
God, right there. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm, right. Look, and then once you was done at Eclipse, you just go get some Popeyes right next door.
Right next. Ooh, I remember this girl. Oh man, she made me so mad. That was the first. I'm not a jealous person, but that was the first time I got jealous. There's someone I was talking to, but we weren't together. And she was dancing with this Omega right in front of me on purpose. And I forgot whose party it was. I don't think it might have been our party. Maybe it wasn't our party. But she was trying to do that to make me mad. That shit worked.
Oh, it worked. You looking worked. Like this shit backfired on me.
Like, oh, I was like, one, you gonna do it with them. And it was the ones we didn't get along with. The ones at State we didn't get along with just because they hated the ones at State, and if we walked over there, they hated us automatically. I'm like, bro, I don't even know you. I don't even go to your school.
Right.
And you hate me just because I'm in a different organization. You sound dumb, but okay. But I don't have no problem. And I'm cool with a few of them at State too. My mentor went to State. Shout out to Mr. King. So I don't get that. But yeah, boy, that thing worked. But stay focused in school, y'all. Stay focused.
Stay focused. Have your fun after you get the job done. That's what you need to do. Do it that way.
Yes.
Absolutely do it that way.
And please remember, enjoy. I will say this. I would say if I wish I could have did anything better, it would have been to graduate on time. Though my father passed away while I was in school and I took a semester off, it really took me more time than it should have to really focus. I was trying to do too much, and I did have a bad semester. I think I had one or two actually bad semesters, but it was just because not showing up to class. I just wasn't putting in the effort. And I really wish I did so I could have graduated on time. So I will say this. One, try to have a well-rounded experience. Like the undergrad experience in college, it's one and done. Grad school is not like that. There's no part of your adult life that I can think of that is going to be like that. So go to some parties. Have some fun. You ain't got to do everything. You ain't got to do definitely road trip with some friends and go visit other campuses or other homecomings, but make it a well-rounded experience so that you have some stories to tell and also so that you have experiences to tell. Now, different strokes for different folks, but I do know friends, and I have friends who just, bro, all they did was schoolwork, room, maybe went to 2 parties their entire time there. I get it. Strictly business, and they making good money and doing well now. But I'm like, dang, bro, like you did what you was supposed to do, but you didn't have the experience, man.
Yeah, but see, some of those that did that, I can understand. So
right.
I had someone on my track team. He tried to do the experiment side with going out to partying, still running track, going to class. And he couldn't balance it.
Yeah.
And his grades, he won. He was from out of state.
Okay,
so you already knew. Yeah, you already know.
They bust him in the head, them out of state fees.
Claflin out of state fees is woo. Yeah, that's all I say. And he was there for academics, and he was there for a track scholarship. Well, he lost that academic scholarship after that first semester. So he locked himself with staying in the room. But
do or die.
He still messed up and not having the grades that he needed to and wasn't able to at that time have the GPA to be a part of any organization.
Mm.
And when we talked to him and we realized it was like he wasn't, hold on, he knew that wasn't something that he could do even when he was younger before coming to college. So he knew he had to go back into what was going to work. So
Yeah.
how I look at it in that way is, all right, if you're not going to enjoy the moments now, it better be a reason why behind it. Because if you are there, yes, you want to experiment everything. So when you are out of school, you know what to accept and what not to accept.
Yes.
That's how I look at it. Because if you ain't experienced something in your lifetime and I have, it's going to be hard for me to say you can relate to me
Yeah.
because you don't know both sides of the field.
Yeah.
You don't know how it is, going on a road trip on Friday and then staying longer than what you're supposed to because you met these girls at another school and they told you to go to their dorm and now it's Sunday and you like, yo, we just gonna leave early in the morning to make it to class and still make it to class and pass your motherfucking test. So
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
so those type of things is always crazy. Hey, Voorhees, what was
Yeah.
the school in Augusta? Pine, is it Pines? Pines
Who's in
University?
Augusta?
Man, I can tell you,
You know I'm old.
we traveled. We
Yes.
traveled South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee,
Yeah.
all those. We was the traveling newts, and it was just because I remember our line when we were traveling. It was like the campus knows us. We want the other campuses to know who we are too,
Yeah.
and that's what always worked. We was always, oh man, the out of state newts is about to come to the campus. We already knew what time that was. Have your fun, enjoy, get your shimmy on, get your free drinks, and all right,
Oh
we're
man.
gonna ride this back out with no money, but under the influence and a bunch of conversations to talk about what we did and did not do.
Boy, them dollar menus was clutch back then. Thank you, McDonald's. I don't eat you now, but
Oh,
thank you,
that
McDonald's, for back then.
McDonald's, Cookout,
Oh,
Burger King, Wendy's.
ooh,
Hey,
Wendy's.
shout out Dodges.
Dodgers with the chicken. The Chinese
Shout
spots in
out.
Orangeburg too, man.
Hey, they was
Man.
awful. Oh, there was someone that said, I forgot. I really can't remember this restaurant, but the hibachi spot in Orangeburg.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's one that was in front of Eclipse. Hispanic people work there, so I still was confused by that place. But there's another one it's his own separate building next to the Exxon.
Oh,
They be
okay,
hitting them up. They
okay.
be killing them, bro. Cause they got these weird little chicken wings. Like the chicken wings are mad small.
It's
Maybe,
real small.
yeah, but
Not
their
the
food is
best
good.
the best restaurant out of our, and I don't know, was Applebee's the spot when you was there
Yeah,
too?
yeah, yeah. People still gonna go there now. When we go back to homecoming, everybody goes to
That's
Applebee's and the
where
hibachi or the
and,
Mexican restaurant.
and the Mexican. Nah, the one that I wish they still had was D's Wings.
Who was that at?
So it's by all the hotels that everyone's gonna be staying at. So by the Ruby Tuesday.
Nah,
Remember where?
I don't remember that.
Nah, you all right? So you know where the Ruby Tuesday is, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So it was on the opposite side by the gas station. It
Oh,
was
on the
only,
corner.
yeah, it was right by the hotel. There
I
was
think I know what you're
there's a
talking about.
hotel right, but it wasn't open long. But when they started, it was the spot. It was like every other day because they had 20. This is back in the day. 25-cent wings.
Oh, I remember them.
And the wings was hitting. But what made it so fun is they made it Long Island, and this is back when we called them blue motherfuckers. And Long Island iced teas, they made those where it was like $5 a cup type deal,
Yeah.
but it was karaoke night. So
Oh,
that man went, hey, that was the spot. This wasn't a freshman spot. So if you was a freshman, you better had someone that was able to pick you up and drive you there because if
Yeah,
not,
that jump
you
far.
wasn't walking. Yeah,
Yeah.
you weren't walking there. But man, those nights was fun. even though we had class on the next day because that was our Taco Tuesday. Like HBCU, we made sure we did things that we liked. So Tuesday was karaoke night with 25-cent wings, and then they swapped it out and made it Wednesday where it was 25, so everyone could go to Applebee's on Tuesday and you can go to D's Wings on Wednesday. But unfortunately, after the year I graduated, that thing was gone. So it
Sheesh.
showed. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yo, so we talked about a lot of fun stuff in school, y'all, but I will say this was very different, and I can't speak for everyone's experience, but one thing I really loved about going to a HBCU in my undergrad experience was the professors. A majority of my professors were very caring and nurturing. Like you almost felt like you were with your auntie or your uncle or something like that. It was not like middle school, high school. It's probably closer back to elementary school when your teachers were more nurturing and caring. And did I have anyone in middle school who really was nurturing like that? I can't really think of anyone in middle school that was kind of like that. Definitely high school, I had a couple of teachers, but like college was like really like they really cared, man, and I appreciated that. Like, after I pledged, bro, I was going hard, and my stupid ass had 8 o'clock classes. I'm late. I'm not showing up, and that they had a 3 strike rule. If you missed 3 classes with unexcused absences, they could fail you, and they didn't fail me. And I got pulled to the side, and I got some talking tos and stuff like that. And I really just appreciated that because I had to get my
Right.
head on straight, man, because they understand. Okay, he done pledge. He's partying. All these women are out here. He has potential. He's smart. He just needs a talking to. And that worked instead of just, oh, let me punish him. Let me give him the max. So it's needed because you're still so young and you're just so inexperienced. And then you away from
Yeah.
home. Like you away
Yeah,
from the freedom, bro.
look, everyone ain't from Orangeburg going to Claflin. Like
Yeah.
there was it was some, but
Yeah.
nah, we was a couple hours away or days away, depending on where you came
Yep.
from.
I came from
Going.
Philly, Charleston, New York,
It was a bunch of
Georgia.
New
Yeah.
Yorks when I went. Like
Yeah.
it was DC and New York,
Oh,
like
yeah.
stomping grounds when I was going.
Yeah.
So, what's one of the relationships that you didn't have with someone in undergrad that you got with now? Someone that you kind of like bump heads with, maybe.
Did I bump heads with anyone?
Not
Um,
well, I'll take that back. Not
your
necessarily
whole
bump
line.
heads, but it was
Your line.
hey,
Your
hey,
line. Wait.
we take that. We take that one.
Yes, yes,
We
yes.
was the
You and
bet.
Eric and Chad and all of you guys. Yes, bumped head with your lines, but I think I apologized I apologized to y'all when I saw y'all because it was 50-50. We were blaming y'all for a lot of stuff. And it was like what you said earlier. We were trying to protect y'all, but y'all were the new wave and we were not giving y'all the lane to really bring what you had to bring to the chapter.
Right.
And we were so busy like, hey, we got to uphold tradition, but like it was the evolution of Kappa. Like, yes, there are traditions,
Yeah.
but it's like, hey, things are different now. We think different. We're into different things. Like some of your old school stuff can still work, but at the same
Right.
time, here's some new things. And we just didn't know how to communicate. But I always loved all of y'all.
Right.
I wouldn't let nobody do nothing to y'all. But
Right.
I would probably say that was it. But I always try to tap in with y'all either on Facebook or text message just to check in because some of y'all don't come back. Some of y'all just disappear. I
Right.
always like
Right.
looking at Chad's statuses on Facebook and laughing at him being such a family man. And me and
Look,
Rob live
Chad.
in the same city. I need to go to his church.
Look, Chad being Chad, the first to everything, getting married, having the first kid, having the multiple kids, having the career like he was. But now I think what it was, this is me looking at it now, knowing my line and what was how things aligned for us. Like we literally had every box filled in our line. Like each line is always doing that, I feel. But with this one, it was connecting all the boxes to where it was like, oh shit, we did this. We didn't know what to expect from this.
Yeah.
Because you had the highest GPA individuals here.
Yep.
You literally had the IT guy
Yeah.
here. you had the oldest Chris, the oldest but wisest one here that was diverse. Literally, the Mr. Long Hair don't care. So he could walk into any room if we needed him to and be approachable. Then we got the athletes. We got the basketball, we had the track. So it was like, dang, any slot we needed to be filled,
Yep.
we could go into any type of room and be the center of attention. But that also meant letting us be who we was. That got us online. And I think, like what you said, because you knew how an outcome would play out if we stayed like in this circle, it's easier to say, all right, we know what to expect here. We don't want to see what's not to expect
Yep.
because we won't know how to fix from it. But at times, yeah, that does hurt us. Now we look at how it is in the world today, and we're like, dang, how do we get kids to not do this or that? Well, if you hold information, curiosity kills the cat.
Yep.
Don't let them be curious, and then you'll be able to see the outcome. But now, yeah,
Yeah.
we get to see, like what you say, we got to see, like we chat, we talk, and me and you are on here not one time, not two times, but now three times. Clearly, we got some type of relationship. So it shows, like, you know what? I was young. I didn't know what I was disliking. And now I'm glad that I'm not in that same mindset that I was back then, because look at what we got to unfold now.
Yep.
That's how I look at it. Especially like with Greeks. Like you sit back and like in undergrad, I could see where, some people call it a game because depending on the chapter you're in, the school that you at, the state, it's all of like a mindset.
Yeah.
Even with like what type of person. Like if you're in South Carolina and you see a Kappa, the swag there is not the swag in New York.
Nope.
Like they different types of people.
Yep.
So
Yep.
so it's like, dang, all right, well, I can't put you in the box. I need to learn I need to learn and do my research so I know how to be adaptable into all these situations throughout life. So nah, that makes sense.
What about you, man? Did you butt heads with anyone else? You laughing like you had a rival. Now your line, y'all just within your line, y'all had a little. I think y'all cool now. Y'all definitely cool now. But y'all line, that was one thing I know. I'm like, ooh, the harmony ain't always there with y'all. Same thing on my line though.
Yeah, so I think like with us, it was me honestly, who I think I wouldn't. All right, let me reel this back in and see like who I.
Even not beef.
Because I was a part of a lot of groups too, and then I made a group. So when I was a part of Claflin Man 100, everyone thought like, oh, this was like the underground renegade line. But what no one never knew was the board was the D9. I literally had a Sigma, a Kappa, a Omega, a Alpha. Everyone played a role because we all knew what the beliefs was. But to be honest, yes, it was something to help candidates out, but not just for Kappa. It was for them who wasn't in the community service, wasn't social. It gave them an opportunity to have something on their resume. So when it was time, you needed it.
Yeah.
I know we needed it.
You needed it. That's a hint for y'all. We ain't giving y'all no more, but community service and social, you needed that on your application.
You needed. But to answer your question, it wouldn't be who I didn't like that I talk to now. It's different on my side. It's surprising for me to be able to help people that was in college with me that was either in line to do something better or was equal with me. Because, when I went to Claflin, if you didn't go to the honors college, you was a peasant.
Why you...
looking down? I gotta look down at you. Oh, you're here. Oh, you live at high rise.
Yeah, there's a little bit of snootiness. There was some snootiness.
So you had that going on. So like a lot of the people that I got to work with, it's like, oh, that's so cute. You're coming to the guy that was in high rise. The little peasant. We didn't have the suites. We didn't have this. So just seeing that part surprised me. Like I knew I would help people, but I wouldn't be surprised where it was like out of all of y'all, the first person that worked with for their weight loss journey was Norman.
Wow.
I would not have think
Yeah.
out of anyone, Norman would be the one to reach out to me and be like, "Man, I like what you're doing. This, and this, and this. I trust you with my life because when we're doing this, that's what you're doing."
Yeah.
And knowing like, dang man, you the same guy that could have potentially not voted me in to be a part of your organization, but because you did, you were able to keep up with me to see how you helped me, and now I get to help you.
Yep.
So that's things where I look at it like I don't really know anyone from undergrad that I really wouldn't rock with that I do rock with now out of it. Now I will say this, I'm surprised of the circle who I still keep in contact with that I felt like I rocked with really hard. So like on the track team, I still got my number one is Kiana.
Hmm.
She's someone where people say like you can't have a female best friend. Like that's my road dog. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like we never have history outside of that. And I think like most people don't realize the secret of having a female friend is being able to mess with the friends, not the
Exactly.
not your home girl. Like because at the end of the day, your friend will always tell you what you fucked up with, so you know not to do it with the next friend. But that's just
Hmm.
me. But I ain't gonna get look. He said we ain't giving you no insight on Kappa and frats and sororities. I ain't giving you no insight on how to play the game. God dang it! You
Choose
should have
wisely.
went to yeah. You should have been to Claflin when it was time to have those workshops.
That you just dropped the gym though, and it's funny how life is full circle. Before I went to college, my mom's friend, shout out to Thomas, he's a Q, went to Wofford. Older guy. He told me before I went to school, man, he pulled me outside. He's like, "Hey, you getting ready to go to college?" He was like, I know you got a dad and stuff like that, but if you don't mind, I want to give you a piece of advice. And I was like, "What's up?" He said, "When you go to college, you're gonna be enclosed in your own world, and you're gonna be around more women in a concentrated area, probably more than you ever have been in your life, and probably will be in your life." He was like, "I'm gonna be straight up with you. Don't try to smash all of them." He used the F word. I'm trying to watch the language a little bit. He said, "Don't try to smash them." He was like, "The women you meet in college, some of them will end up being your best, closest, and most reliable friends." Because he's real good friends with my mom. They just friends. He was just over here last
Absolutely.
week. He spent 2 nights watching football, eating food, just chilling. And I told him, I said, "Man, I remember you told me that going into college, and that stopped me from trying to mess with a lot of my homegirls. And we are still so very tight, and they've helped me through so many things." I was like, that is probably one of the best pieces of advice I ever got. And it's helped my reputation because, being a noob, they think we trying to smash everything all the time. Some of us are, but like that stigma isn't attached to me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't.
Yeah.
I get a bit further than other people. Like sometimes people will call me to smooth stuff. Like I was the bro that was smoothing stuff over. Like I was the God, I hate to say this. I was like the trustworthy one. I was the quote unquote good guy, but it was because I remembered that piece of advice, and I also observed how messy. Ooh, it could get so messy because our campus was small, bro. You do something on Monday,
Ooh.
everybody knew. By Wednesday, Thursday, everybody knew. You had to be careful with that, man. So,
Hey, if you drove, man,
oh, your
I felt
car,
so I felt so bad for the unsmart players back then
yeah,
because
yeah.
you didn't do two things. You didn't do pickup and drop offs at the dorm, meaning going on campus, and you did not do pickups and drop off at the library. Those are the two most popular spots
Yep, yep.
there. Just knowing, so yeah, just knowing that, like, you know, my first pro with bodybuilding was someone from Claflin. She's also an AKA. So when we were talking about someone that was like someone in college, like I didn't even know her back then because once she got to Claflin, she was a freshman.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, after our year, they created a curfew for freshmen. So
Oh
if
yeah.
they was not in their dorm, they were either getting a write up or you just didn't go on campus because they wouldn't say nothing. So you already knew if you stayed off of campus, you ain't want no freshmen sleeping over because you was an undergrad. Ain't no cuddling when we having fun. Like we ain't have Ubers back then, but
Nope.
I'll go drop you off.
Yeah. Yo, that's wild. Yo, y'all gotta
Yeah,
remember, we did not have Uber and Lyft. You needed a car or a friend with the car, or you
you had a
walking.
friend. Oh, shout out! Look, shout out to the older crowds that thought I was gonna be a part of their organization, and they used to let me use the whip or they pick me up to do XYZ. Shout out to y'all.
Oh God, yeah. I had a car from my sophomore year on up, boy. Man, back when gas was like $2 or less, $1.85.
Yeah, that
Oh,
junk was way, way, way. Hey, I remember when it went up to 210 and I almost had a heart attack. I was like, I finally get to really drive on campus and gas is $2.10. Now I just be wishing it go back to $2.
I wish, man. Oh, those good old days, man. And some
Those
professors
were
I
the
need to go see too, man. I don't think many of mine are still there. I'm gonna have to look on the website. Oh, you know what? Like,
so your professors, and we'll wind it down
yeah.
as we go. Which one of your professors? Well, you older now, so it's when I say it, it's which professor back then could get it? That could still get it.
Oh, I can't do that because 99% of us would say this one person.
Oh, I'm already thinking of her right
Well,
now.
I'm not gonna say her name on here, because everyone's gonna know. She was fine back then. She fine now.
And
She does not age, and she is
she
so
did not
cool.
age.
She don't age. That's one of the finest women I've ever seen.
Personality and a y'all know she is a dime
Yes.
piece. If we both know who we talking
Yeah.
about, and we ain't
Yeah.
dropping no clues,
And was
because
not
if we
a
drop a
wasn't his major, wasn't my major, but we knew.
oh no, not at all. but if you gone to the right house, you could see her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh man, hey, shout
There was
out
a
to
there was a professor my freshman year. She taught science. I can't remember her name. She was fine. She was African too. Ooh, had that accent. Oh,
the accent. Oh, that look, the all the out of the country students that came. Yeah.
oh, the women from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, the Trinidad crew that had to stay there during Thanksgiving break because they couldn't go back home, and I stayed in Colombia, so I would come back and forth because I was working on both ends. Oh yeah, great networking, great networking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh man. Is there okay? So my body count was very low. I was basically in relationships throughout undergrad. There was like a small period where I wasn't. So I ain't do a lot of smashing. Are there any women that got away that either you really wanted to actually talk to or really that you actually just wanted to
Oh,
get but it was like they turned you
oh,
down or they just got away.
nah, they ain't turned me down. They was just for the street. Yeah,
Oh.
it was man.
I mean, you ain't got to say no names, but that
Oh,
happened.
yeah, nah, I'm not gonna give no names. I ain't gonna give no clues.
It hurt your
But
feelings when you found out?
nah, how I'll break this down because I want everyone to relate. Everyone has a favorite five. Everyone has a favorite five. I don't care what you say. And I'm not saying that because he's a five and I'm a five, but you can think in your head like who your top three is. And what I can tell you,
Yeah.
there are some top threes, top fives that came from Claflin.
Yeah.
And it was more so like, dang, like I know this was fun, but shit, like you don't wanna. And they just was for the streets. Now, we all grown up and we're in different roles and different places in life. I don't look back and be like, damn, I wish I could have get that back.
Yeah.
Now there was a crush that I had back
Yeah.
then, and it was crazy. It was a crush that I had. These both lovely ladies was in the honors college,
Of course.
but her sweet mate liked me. And it was Dang, I know I do have a crush on you. I know you actually like me, but she likes you too. And I seen you look, so you may be interested. And I was, bruh.
You looking
A
at
lot of stuff
everything.
that, nah, when a lot of stuff that I did in undergrad, it was because I started being honest in certain situations.
Hmm.
And it was like, oh, absolutely. If the opportunity, I would definitely hit. But hitting and wanting is two different
Very
things.
different.
And they respected that, but they also knew like, yeah, but my sweet mate, like, I see them all the time, and I don't want to deal with the backlash.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, that one ran away.
Mm.
That one ran away, and nothing ever happened with us. We just always stay cool afterward. After that, I see them on social media now, but we don't really chat as much. You know, we're older now, so you gotta
Yeah.
be respectful to people.
No, you don't. Um.
Well, some people know.
Yeah, I would say there is definitely one crush from undergrad. We still cool to this day. I don't think she even know. I ain't really ever bring it up, but we always just been really cool. Like, but she was always. I think it was because after I pledged, she was just really extra nice to me. She's a little bit older, but she was just extra really nice and very friendly and very approachable. Ladies, if you're struggling to find a man, that is something that I hope you get a man. But she was just always cool, and I just always thought she was fine. But there is someone I do. I didn't really give her any. I didn't really pay her that much attention in undergrad, but now that we've graduated, I'm like, damn, like you was fine back then, but you extra fine now. Not, but I think she had a crush on somebody else. And then I was a little. I think I was a year older, so I was like falling back off of that anyway because I think she had a crush on one of the bros, but I don't know. But whenever I see her, I'm just like, might
Looking
have to
like,
might have to
dang.
holler because she's still single. She still look good. Ain't got no kids. I mean, I don't mind a woman with a kid.
Hey, hold up, look. We're gonna make sure we both we understand at the so this is what I realized to go off of that. I'm realizing each year we tap on our age, there is certain requirements that have to be reviewed. And I remember hitting 30 and my homeboy was like, bro, you do know you in the bracket where you stepdad, right? I was
Yeah,
like, what? He was like, yeah, you a rare motherfucking breed, bruh. Like, if you go to a certain crowd and you say your age and they say, oh, you got any kids? And you say no, they're gonna ask, like, is everything okay? Something wrong? Do you like what we have to offer? And I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to have multiple children, if I can stop it because I want to be a one and done. But I do realize now where I'm at, it's like, hey, you don't know what goes on in, someone else's past. They could have
right,
been married and unfortunately
right.
they parted ways. And yeah, that's the situation. So as long as everything is good on their side, yeah, you still got a good chance. But someone that don't have a kid is gonna move up in that resume. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Absolutely, they're always gonna. There's just less. There's just less complications that can occur with someone who doesn't have kids. But yeah, I'm definitely open to it. But it really cracks me up the amount of women that won't talk to a dude with kids. And what really cracks me up is when people have kids and say they won't talk to somebody that has kids. But I'm
That
like, you
has
got
kids.
kids. But yeah, like you said, we in that age bracket. I'm definitely in that age bracket. I'll be 40 in December, so like I'll be lucky to find a woman who only got one.
Right.
I gotta start
Right.
scratching my head like, is two okay? How old are they? Are they well behaved? As long
And
as
now and now at the age of knowing, like, do you want kids for yourself?
I used to, when I was younger, I wanted like 3, 4, 5 kids. I wanted to be Chad. The life that Chad has is the life that I wanted.
Chad, Chad got that. Hey,
And
Chad
by
got
LB
that
Brandon.
old. Yeah, everyone got that old school family. Chad was not playing. Hey, I'm gonna throw Chad's business out. It ain't gonna be too bad. But Chad was our ace. All right, he was the first man up. He was the first one to get a nice career job. He was the first one to actually leave that job to go to the military, and he was the first one to get married and the first one to knock up his wife. Not just knock her up, he left, came back from his training and his missions and knocked her ass up again. I think Chad is on child number 4, right? Or 5. Which one is it?
It's either 4 or 5. And shoot, my LB is on. I think he's on 4. I think he has 3 daughters and a son. Yeah, it's bruh. And I'm like, that's what that's what I was pursuing, but it ain't never worked. But to answer your question, I'm like 60-40 now. 60 I would want at least 2 because I think it's cool and they at least have someone to like bounce off and build a relationship with. But like the older I get, my concern isn't so much the kid and raising them, is I'm getting old. Like I want to be alive to see to see them at a certain part in life. You know, like I want to be able to be a grandparent, you know, if that's a thing. But I'm like, bruh, but you know, kudos to you, keeping myself healthy. Don't look my age, don't feel my age, whatever that means. But yeah, man, it is something I've definitely been. I'm not as gung ho about it as I was when I was younger. I'll tell you that.
You hit it on the head, and that's something that I've been like in my head about a lot, and I was wanting to express to like certain people is I think, and I don't know if that's just everyone across the board, but each year I do get older, it's like, okay, I want a kid, but then it's like also, are you thinking of your child as you're getting older? Because like, let's say like for your example, right? You're about to be 40. Well, by the time your son or daughter would be graduating college, you in your 60s.
I'm 64.
So it's like
61, 62, somewhere in there. Yeah.
a lot of people can be mobile, but are you going to be as mobile, as functional? Anything can happen at that age.
Yeah.
And me knowing like when my parents had me, I used to always say, "No, I want a kid by 20." And it sounds crazy now because you're like, "Oh my gosh, the money." But when I was in that teenager phase, it was if I had a child at 20, by the time my child is 18, I'm still beating his ass in any sport that we're doing. Why I said that is because that's what my dad did to me. Like track meets, football, like, hey, you want to get your speed up? All right, let's meet at the track. And he will bust my ass. Like, but now he can keep up with me. But it's looking like you do know I'll bust your ass if I wanted to, but I don't want to mess with your ego type of feel. And that's where it's like, all right, it's expected now because he's at his age, I'm in my 30s, to be at that type of level.
Yeah.
But as you said right there, it's like, yeah, I be thinking about that. Like, dang, my ass would be 50 years old. My kid's 10 years old. Nigga finessing me with the internet because my ass was too stubborn to learn how to use the new internet. Like, bro, I'm looking at how my parents are right now.
Yeah.
Oh, can you help me with? Man, it's only the internet. Just click your phone.
Yeah.
That's too much work. I don't want to learn it.
That's gonna be us.
Hold up. That's gonna be me. Like sitting here, like talk, like you see the memes. It's like, yeah, what's your favorite song? Oh, let me tell you about my hits. My hits start with who was the last? I did a photo shoot and I was like, dang, who it was a artist. It was an artist that we were Trina. I was like, all right, I need you to act a little bit like Trina. She was like,
who's that?
Who's that? I was like, Little Kim. Oh, this? No, like disappear the Sprite can down your mouth. I don't know what that is. All right, act like Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, why didn't you just start with that? My gosh. What are we talking about now? Like, we don't know. And this ain't even like music. I would say like, oh yeah, this the old good shit. Like this is just the basic surface level stuff. And it was like, oh, like you have zero clue of what that is or what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting older. All right.
Cool. Old, bro. I saw the homecoming concert. The only person I recognized was Lil Boosie. I ain't know not one of them other artists. That.
I'm gonna get my hat. I had my Martin hat on, and I went to a bar, and one of the bartenders was coming up. The other dude was like, "Yo, I like that hat. That's a classic." And the bartender was like, "Martin, what is that?" And we looked,
Y'all old, bro.
Bro, I know you ain't just come over here. Like, do you really not want a tip? So the dude was like, Martin's a classic TV show. I never heard of it. What is it about?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's showing our age, right? Like I couldn't
Yeah.
be like, dang, like if you like Martin, did you like Wayne Brother? Did you like Jamie Foxx? Like, dang, you ain't know Martin?
Wow.
Martin, that's still going on BET. Like,
Yo, not knowing Martin is crazy.
So yeah, we growing
We
in
there.
age. Yeah, we growing in age, man. Now the last thing that I got for you before we get out,
Yeah.
because we are the good brothers as we are, and we know certain people go back to homecoming for like to bring back and be their old young self.
Oh God.
What you mainly be looking for or watching for when you go back to homecoming to find out those people to see what's going on? Or do you go and make sure you're the good person to be like, all right, we know how you get,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna make sure you don't get that way. Because the last time I went to the alumni party, I was still in my 20s at this time. And I looked and I was like, oh, the professors get shit-faced it.
Yeah.
But now I'm that age of the professor, so it's like, all right, dang, who out the group is that crazy one still to this day? And I need to make sure that they good because
Yeah.
we don't need to be wilding out like how we used to in undergrad. Or will you be that person?
No, it ain't me, man. You know, so homecoming typically looks like I'm probably gonna be with Bird most of the time. I can't talk about what we gonna be doing, but I'll be with Bird a vast majority of the time. I mean, this year is different because we have a schedule of events for our 75th. But I typically be with Bird, and then like I make my rounds, and there's a few people I look for just to act stupid with, walk around, and just reminisce with, man. But yeah, when we get ready to go to like parties and stuff like that, which I'm trying to get organized because I'm like, yo, who's going, who's not? Because last year was bad. Like everyone decided to go at the last minute, and I'm mad because I'm old. I went to the step show, went to Donovan's party at like 11-ish, and I was too early.
Yeah.
And I left because nobody was there. I left like after an hour and a half. I left. Bro, that next day, everybody had pictures. Oh, we had so much fun. I'm like, man, dang, man. I was trying to get up with y'all. So definitely that. But yeah, there's a few people who definitely still get shit faced, and I do look out for them and try to make sure they don't drink too much. Make sure they don't get too okay, let me be very, very careful. We were back in our day being very friendly with women. You know, they let a lot of stuff pass that nowadays your ass would probably go to jail for.
Yeah, you can't do back then. But yeah.
So I try to make sure some of the people, not just brothers, but some of the people are like, hey, whoa, you can't say that. Hey, we can't talk like that. You can't watch your hand when you giving a hug. Watch the slick whoa, this a new day. Yay, yo. Like, you can't talk like that. You got to move different, bro. It ain't viewed the same. And then, you know, some people you might have to tell, hey, bro, man, yo, you know, you got a wife at home, right? Like, hey, shorty, ain't you married? Whoa, but you a little too close. It's interesting to see just those people you grew up with, so to speak, to see how much they've just changed and to see the adult version of them. Like, one of my best friends is coming. She got 2 kids now, got a husband. I was like, bro, I remember we used to be sitting at McDonald's scraping together the change in our pockets to eat and talking about how we wanted to do all these things. And I'm like, yo, you got a whole family. What the hell? Like, it's crazy, bro. So I just enjoy the moment. I just like enjoying the moments. But yeah, there's some people I definitely look out for, make sure they don't have too much, because that's never me. I'm typically like, I'm probably gonna have like even last year I only had like maybe 2 drinks the whole time. I didn't really go in like that because that just ain't my thing no more, because I just like being consciously aware. And then I don't want to be that one, man, Rob, you remember last year when you got I don't want that to be me. I don't want to be in the stories.
I want to be that person, but not to that extent. I want to be that person, be like, yo, y'all remember Law came? That nigga came out with some fire shots for us. Like that's what I want to be
The
remembered for.
bartender.
Yeah. No,
No.
like with the pictures,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I'm known for fitness, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
so glad when I do go. I know I'll get some fitness questions, but it will be different questions. Like you got to understand, like for 10 years, you're like, oh Law, oh you in that that fitness shit. Like, so what you think I need to do to lose this belly? Like, all right,
Oh,
we're
you're
gonna
gonna
say the
have the
same
adult
thing all night.
conversations.
Yeah.
Mm.
And now that we're older, it's like, all right, when I go on campus and I'm sitting at the tent, talking to everyone, I'm the old head trying to spit some knowledge to the young folks. Knowing when I was young, I'm sitting there like, bro, can you just shut up so I can go get me another drink or get me something to eat? Like,
They gonna call you old school now too.
hey, Unc. So, did y'all? I was talking to someone and I was like, man, I remember back in the day when the old heads was like, man, stop washing the soap off your hand. And the girl said, you talk about the shimmy? I said, yeah, old school. They don't do this. Hold your nut sacks like a man. So I'm like, I I I wonder what the new kids is doing now. And I'm gonna be like, what? This is what we all
Oh,
doing? Like,
yeah, it's different because y'all changed it. Y'all started doing the hands in the reverse.
yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
line started that. We was the fast shimmy. Y'all started that. I like that.
yeah, yeah.
Now it's just like slow motion, get low. It's really slow motion now. It's interesting. I can't do it because my knee, the way my patella is set up. No,
Look,
hey, y'all got it.
hey, but in your head, you already know which old head is going to try to jump in and scroll. Please let the church know, please, because I already got two in my head. And if you don't say one of them, it's because you're going to be around them
No, man.
somewhat of the time.
Who is gonna try to jump in? That's a good question.
Someone's going to come in there with their cane, twirling
You
it
stupid. You
with
stupid.
his martial arts,
You
great
stupid. You
skills,
stupid.
and he gonna
He
jump in
gonna
because
be.
he still got the young knees.
I don't think he
Still got
gonna.
the young.
Well, he the advisor now, so I doubt it. That interaction
You,
is different now.
okay,
Maybe
okay.
if he wasn't, maybe. But yeah, and then I follow him up. He's like my LB. Like I call him like my LB
Yeah.
because we hung out and road trips so much. You stupid. Shout out to Colin. Shout out to Colin. We love you, Colin. Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna be bothering you, Colin, because man, you got the camera too, so I'm gonna be picking your brain while I'm up there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I do want to get some strolls out, because I don't get a chance to do that often. So I do want to get some strolls in if I can. If Charles is there, he's definitely going to get some in.
Charles is gonna be there, and Charles is going to be the person making sure everybody scrolls and everybody is networking for sure. Like, I
Yes.
will say, Charles was one of the most hardest persons to get on board just because how he how he went about certain things and some people didn't agree and
Yeah.
in line, but once that man got the opportunity,
Yeah.
I will definitely say he was a great candidate to put in there, because he bridged the gap with a lot of stuff
Yep.
with the new ones, and not saying with the old heads, but like with my era
Yep.
of the crew. So yeah, definitely I already know. Definitely Charles. Charles is gonna be the one that has like his own line wardrobe, because the last time we went,
Yeah.
remember they got like the same jackets
Yeah.
to go there, and it's like, dang, was we like this year? Like every line think they the best line, but we the best. Nah, y'all think y'all was the best. All right, well, brother Rouse, which line? I'm not getting in this with y'all.
We always do that. I can't, man. I can't do that with my line. I got an LB in Columbia who may or may not come. I got another one in Charleston who probably won't come. The other one's in Florida with his family, so he probably ain't come. And then my other ones, we have not. I think we've all gathered one time since we graduated, and I don't even remember what that's for. It was so old. It was a Polaroid picture, bruh. We don't even have a
Man,
digital picture of us together.
man, when I tell you it's been pulling teeth, we actually have a text group, and we're
Same.
literally trying to plan a trip, and it's a year out. Tab's like, y'all know I got kids, right? So we can't do nothing in the next, he said 60 to 90 days. So, me and Rashad, we're like, are we really booking something a year out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all married and with kids. I
Yeah.
get that. But we can't do something like during the weekend. Well, which weekend? Nah, that's the anniversary. Nah, this is it. Oh my
And
gosh.
you got a big
We
line.
are, all 8 of us now. Like
Yeah.
everyone got something going on, and it's great. But that's also something that we did learn in undergrad. Like one from my professor, he was like, once you get older, you're gonna understand. Like, with him, he said it differently. Like your pyramid is gonna shift. With
Yeah.
us, it's different. He was like, and you just gotta understand that's a part of the routine and it's part of the circle.
Yep.
So I know, like with this one, if anyone comes, it's gonna be James, because James lives in Columbia.
Yeah, he right there. Yep.
Yeah. Rashad's gonna be coming because he said that we should both be getting there on Thursday. His number one thing, he want to see the step show. Rashad will be the one that's gonna jump into the scroll. Rashad's gonna.
He didn't want to see
definitely
the step show, bro. They not even marketing or promoting the step show at all.
Real? Why is that? Is it just because
Bruh, it's during the week too. It's not Saturday night anymore.
No, it's on Thursday. I think it's on Thursday.
Yeah, that's still that's mind boggling to me. But I kind of get it because I went last year and it was just it ain't what it used to be. The energy wasn't there, bruh. And a lot of us didn't step. Like USC Kappa stepped. Shout out to my boy Carvin. Shout out to y'all boys. Thank y'all for coming through. Iotas from another school step. Like other schools were stepping more, I think, than the Claflin.
Matter of fact, that was what happened the last time I went. Literally, it was everyone except one. I want to say like it. No, I think the Sigmas was from somewhere else. Everyone except one organization was from a different school, and it was like, y'all let someone else. And shout out to the ones that come and support. Absolutely love it. But it was, y'all let someone from the outside come in and get to benefit when the money that needs to go into our own chapter,
right,
to take that and go to their chapter. Like, y'all don't see no motherfucking issue with that? Like,
bruh, crazy.
And it's like, now if I look at that, it's like, dang, you really outsourcing and you have the sources here. Like, it's not like you don't have no one on campus, because that would be the only reason why I see it's an excuse to even do that. Hey, we don't have no one on the yard but this one person. Yeah. Cool. All right, well, let's go on and do XYZ. Cool. But if you got XYZ on campus, y'all need to figure out in a group, why is it that we are not equipped to do what we need to do to put in for our chapter? Because that was one thing that we didn't realize, and that was, one of our circle downfalls is we became a part of the organization, but we didn't know we made money for the organization. Yeah. And that's where it was like, what? Like, we got money? Like, where did it go?
Yeah.
So I think it's like, hey, like in the process, it's like, y'all got to understand, like when you're learning through it, it's like, this is a business. Your business needs to be above water.
Yes.
These are the reasons why you are shaking hands, being on campus, doing this. This is why you want a high interest, because those interest fees is for the chapter. Yes. So it's like, dang, I ain't think about that when I was younger. I was thinking who was popular and who wasn't. Like that's how you thought.
Yeah.
But now if you sit back, if you Brother Rouse, now I appreciate it. It's like, brother, we playing chess, not checkers.
Yeah,
like,
you got to think about it too. That's how, like, I get it. You're cool. You're dope. We the noops. You're whatever organization you are. But without new interests and people who are actually going to do the work, your chapter can die. And it is very hard to properly bring your chapter back when you have traditions, things you may do, things you might not do. When you don't have any old head or
To help
anybody in
guide,
undergrad
yeah.
to help guide, and you bring people in a certain type of way, is really hard to establish that. Like, it's a revolving door, especially if your numbers are low. Like, we used to have really big numbers. Our numbers aren't where they used to be. Like,
Right.
we had low numbers. I think, yeah, it was your line, because Bird's line, my line was 5, Bird's line was 5. Before that, the biggest line was like 10. And then it started
Right.
getting larger, and now I think we're like kind of shrinking back down. But to your point, like, the step show is like a showcase. One, you get the money. Two, you get bragging rights. But three, you attract those interests. Like, I remember after my step show, I saw Bird, and he was like, "Man, y'all should have won." And I was like, "Don't worry, you be there to help us next year." His jaw hit the floor, because I was like, "Bro, I know
Yeah.
you, I know you interested." You
It's
know what I'm
like,
saying?
what?
Yeah, like, it gets people talking, it gets people excited, it gets people wanting to engage with you. And shout out to undergrad Gamanu. I want to say a few months ago, I saw some events they were doing. They had like a game night, a game night and a social night, just hanging out with people from campus. And I love to see that. Be social, be out there, touch the people, hang out with the people, do simple stuff. Let them get to know you as people, to know, hey, you know what? They cool. Like, if they doing a party the same night as these people, I'm more comfortable with them, so I'm gonna go. Cause you are competing. We used to that's why the Omegas at State hated us. They used to try to throw parties the same night as us,
Oh,
shut it down all the time.
I don't know if you was there that year. It was their back to school party. And I remember because Russ came with us, because Chad always in undergrad. I'm sorry, Chad. He always found a way to be the trouble. And Chad is like the coolest person. But if y'all think I got a slick mouth, he has a
Oh,
smart,
nasty.
intelligent, smart mouth.
Yeah.
So it was disrespectful. And in some of the stuff, it was like, hold up, I really got to slow down to break down what you just said to me. And there was a issue, but we were going so we could promote our party at their party, and they got heated.
I think I
And
remember that.
and it's like, the only thing that saved us was Russ was with us, and he was like, "It's more them than us. Let's just leave out, and our party's still gonna do good." And it was like, okay, that's the most responsible thing we can do at this moment.
Let's get out alive.
Like,
Let's get out alive, because they had numbers.
yeah, they had numbers.
They
back
always
then.
had numbers.
Back then, like, when I got to see like the Greek life, like, because we had like a good number, but when you went across the street
Yeah.
and you saw like 30 alphas on their campus and they all doing something at one time, and the Omegas, it was like, dang, like,
Yeah.
oh, this junk is bigger than what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah.
it's more there to offer. So no, those are some crazy things. So I'm excited to see a lot of people from homecoming. Unfortunately, there's some people that can't make it because they're no longer here.
Yeah,
and
man.
that's something that really surprised me, because it's like, dang, like, even though we joke around and we say we're old, like, we're still like just hitting to our prime.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it is our prime, but tomorrow's not, promised to
It's
you.
not.
So take advantage and still reach out to the people that you did go to school with. Shout out to William. He was one of the RAs that worked with me, and we actually had a great conversation. Like, he actually was just, how you do. It's like, hey man, I was hitting this number to still see if it was the same. He
Yeah.
called it up. And he was like, dang, you still got the same number. I was like, yeah, that's the opposite number. I said, but I still got it. And we stayed on the phone for 2 years. I mean, 2 hours. My bad. We stayed on the phone for 2 hours.
Yep.
Just going over like stuff back in the day and how he was back then to where he is now. Because William was that goody good guy. And because back then, if you was a goody good, it was like, maybe he don't like women. That man is a family man now with a wife,
Yep.
a kid, and has a great business. And that's just not was his calling. That
Yeah.
wasn't his incitement in college. His was being able to be a RA, to have money, be a part of the choir, being able to network. And if I do want to go out and party, I'm going to do it where it's something that's going to be social and not going to give me any backlash if I ever want to do something really big in life. So with him, it was perfect. And we talked about it and it was like, dang, well, you remember how it was back then? Like, I'll tell you this. Me and him talked about how I got fired as the RA.
Oh, dang, you got fired? What you do, yo?
I told you I had a chick in the dorm.
Come on, dog.
But what's crazy, right? I didn't get caught with her in the dorm. She got caught leaving because she stayed at the entrance, and Dean at the time already left. You know, I was an RA, so I already knew how this shit clocked work.
Yeah.
And her butt stayed right in the spot where he was walking to take a smoke break, and yeah, caught us. I was like, dang. So me and William, we was chit chatting. We was like, yeah, man, you remember back then? And now we was talking about, we was like, yeah, that wasn't really smart, because imagine she was leaving, because how it was set up, and I could talk about it now because it's co-ed. We had a stairway hall, and how this stairway hall was, my door was literally right by that door.
The stair door.
Yeah, the stair door. So I went up the elevator, made sure I seen who was there, who wasn't. She walked up. By the time I get to the elevator, I open the door, walk back out, act like I'm going to the bathroom, and she walk in, shut the door. Clockwork. It sounded like I did this more than once.
You didn't.
But so we had that situated. But when we was talking, we was like, imagine when I was going to the bathroom if she would have went into someone else's room. Yeah. And they shut the door, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe she left. Anything could have happened to her. Yeah. Now, shout out to who was working at that time. He could have definitely did a lot more than what he did with us. But what he did do is he didn't call my parents. He didn't call her parents. I was so glad. But he disciplined us so we knew not to do that again. And I definitely felt bad after how he said, he was like, this is someone's daughter. Even though you and her may have done or may not have done anything, you don't know what could have happened leading her up to your room. Yeah. And we would have had to go and talk to her parents about what happened. And just because that was on y'all, it's on us. Yeah. So what y'all gonna do is y'all got this amount of community service hours, and you are no longer a part of the RA. And I understood. Afterward, I was like, you know what? It don't make 100% a sense right now, but it makes sense to me now that I'm in my age. Yeah. I wish I would have a daughter and found out this little nigga snuck her in there to pipe somebody down. Like, oh no.
Hey, they co-ed now. They ain't got to sneak. It's co-ed now.
They ain't got to sneak. I mean, I ain't had to sneak once I got to Millwood. Yeah. But, you know, I had to pay my dues, so I learned. But
you know Millwood's gone now, right? Well, it's there, but it's the nurse's office, I think. So. And it looks way better than it did when we were there. Way better. I'm like, why y'all ain't do this when we was here, man?
When we was here, we ain't getting none of this. But, you know, appreciate it. You know, shout out to what we got. You know, the little gym that we had and all that. But, you know, I'm glad people are experiencing the great growth of Claflin now.
Yes, same, man. Man, Coach Law, we've been talking for 2 hours. We could go ahead and wrap this up. Great convo as always, man. Thank you for sharing these stories, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, now hit the unrecord button so then I can finally tell you the story.
Oh, yes. Well, we'll catch y'all next time. You know, follow him, Break My Fifth Law Instagram. Follow me, FME_podcast. Until next time, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, financially. We'll catch y'all. Peace.
We out.